Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. There's a war raging, not outside in the streets, not in the boardrooms, but deep within the fortress of your own mind. It is the battle that decides whether you rise to greatness or settle for a life of quiet desperation. You see, the truth about wealth, the kind that changes everything, does not begin with dollars in your bank account or the size of your mansion. It begins in the silent chambers of your own spirit, in the fortress of your thoughts, in the battlefield where belief clashes with doubt, where vision wrestles with fear. From the days when Edison wrestled with 1,000 failures before lighting the world, to when Henry Ford dared to imagine a car for every family, to when Lincoln stood alone in the eye of a divided nation, the common thread is the invincible mind. The mind is the master architect of wealth. And it is here, in the soil of your inner world, that the seeds of your fortune either flourish or wither. But this truth is uncomfortable, because it demands something that the world rarely teaches: the unflinching mastery of self. No one else can build your wealth. No policy, no market trend, no magical formula can substitute the relentless command of your own mind. You must be the general of your thoughts, the guardian of your beliefs, the engineer of your own destiny. Anything less is surrender. What do I mean by mastery of self? It means knowing that wealth is not a matter of luck, inheritance, or external circumstances. Wealth is the direct outcome of the quality of your thinking, the depth of your belief, and the clarity of your purpose. It means that every success story you admire, from Carnegie's empire to Oprah's rise, from Bezos' relentless vision to Musk's daring innovations, starts not in their bank accounts, but in their minds. Belief is the engine. Without it, desire is a candle flickering in the wind. With it, desire becomes a roaring fire that cannot be extinguished. When you look at the giants of history, you don't just see people who had resources. You see people who had faith in themselves and their vision when no one else did. That faith carved through doubt and silence like a blade. And belief is not some vague, feel-good concept. It is a ruthless, disciplined force. It demands sacrifice and commitment. It requires you to silence the voices of fear that whisper you can't, you won't, it's too late. It forces you to stand firm when every part of your world urges retreat. But belief alone is not enough. Clarity must accompany it. Think of Thomas Edison again. How many inventions did he abandon halfway? How many nights did he spend in darkness, uncertain and frustrated? Yet he never lost clarity about his ultimate purpose: to bring light. Your clarity is your North Star. It is the unyielding destination that guides your every step, your every decision. Without clarity, you drift like a ship lost in fog, vulnerable to the tides of distraction and despair. The clarity of vision gives purpose a shape, a definition, a blueprint. It empowers you to cut through noise and chaos. It answers the question, why do I do this? And that answer fuels the long journey ahead. Purpose is the fire that warms your soul when the nights grow cold. Purpose is the melody and the symphony of your effort. Without it, even the strongest will falters. When Ford dreamed of putting the world on wheels, it was not just about cars. It was about freedom, progress, and the promise of tomorrow. When Lincoln fought for a nation's soul, his purpose was justice, unity, and humanity. So, what is your purpose? What fire burns within you that makes you unwilling to quit, unwilling to accept less, unwilling to be ordinary? Discipline is the next pillar. Belief sets the fire, clarity points the way, purpose fuels the journey. Discipline is the engine that drives the machine day after day. Discipline is waking up before the world calls you to action. Discipline is doing what must be done when inspiration is a distant memory. It is the quiet habit of champions who build empires brick by brick. Consider Carnegie, who wrote daily for hours despite exhaustion, who learned relentlessly while others slept. Consider Disney, whose dreams were crushed time and again, but who disciplined himself to keep pushing beyond every no. The world rewards discipline because it is the tangible form of commitment, the proof that you are not just dreaming but doing. But discipline without action is meaningless. Action must follow belief, clarity, purpose, and discipline, like a shadow that never leaves your side. Action is the leap from thought to reality, the transformation of vision into substance. Without action, your dreams are castles in the air, beautiful but fragile. When you act with conviction, with precision, with persistence, you begin to sculpt your future. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory against inertia, fear, and doubt. The greatest empires started with a single step, a single decision, a single moment where action overcame hesitation. Gratitude is the unseen fuel in this relentless machine. It may seem paradoxical that the pursuit of wealth begins with gratitude, but gratitude is the acknowledgement that your journey matters. It is the light that dispels the darkness of entitlement and resentment. Gratitude grounds you, humbles you, and connects you to the abundance already present in your life. Think of it as the magnet that attracts more blessings, more opportunities, more energy. Carnegie was grateful for every lesson failure taught him. Lincoln was grateful for the trust placed in him despite doubt. Gratitude turns scarcity into abundance. It turns struggle into strength. Adaptability is the silent warrior in your quest. The world will throw storms, disruptions, and challenges. Your ability to bend without breaking, to change course without losing sight, to learn and grow in the face of failure, this is what will set you apart. Edison adapted hundreds of times before finding the filament that worked. Ford adapted his production methods to build a revolution. Resilience is the armor you wear when the battle is fiercest. Wealth is never a straight path. It is forged in the fires of setbacks, criticism, loneliness, and pain. Resilience is the heartbeat of those who refuse to surrender, who see failure not as defeat, but as fuel, who rise every time they fall. Learning is the key that unlocks every door. The greatest minds in history never stopped being students. Carnegie devoured books. Lincoln studied law by candlelight. Musk studies engineering and physics in the middle of his empire building. When you commit to learning, you commit to growth, evolution, and transformation. Your mind becomes a powerhouse that creates new possibilities every day. The truth about wealth is not some secret locked away in vaults or hidden in markets. It is a path, a relentless, unforgiving journey within yourself. You must conquer your fears, master your beliefs, sharpen your vision, ignite your purpose, cultivate discipline, take action, embrace gratitude, adapt like water, build resilience, and never stop learning. This journey is not for the faint of heart. It demands everything you have and then some. But the reward is more than money. It is freedom. Freedom to create, to live, to love, to leave a legacy. It is the power to shape your destiny with your own hands and heart. The battlefield is inside you. The prize is your life. The choice is yours. Wealth is not a destination. It is a process, a transformation that begins the moment you choose to become the master of your own mind. It begins when you stop blaming circumstances, stop waiting for permission, stop hoping that luck will find you. It starts when you claim your power, the power to think differently, to believe fiercely, to act relentlessly. Look around at the world's greatest creators, the ones who rewrote the rules. Walt Disney was told, "You're fired," because he lacked imagination. But he didn't let that judgment define him. He reimagined his life, rebuilt his vision, and created a universe that billions now live inside. His wealth, real, lasting, transformative wealth, was born from the defiance of a single thought: I will not be stopped by their doubt. Your mind is the fertile soil where your future grows or withers. It is the silent architect of your reality. If you feed it with fear, insecurity, and resignation, it will build prisons. If you feed it with courage, conviction, and clarity, it will build empires. This is why so many fail. They give their power away. They let fleeting emotions dictate their destiny. They surrender their dreams to the noise of the world. They let fear whisper lies until those lies become the story they live by. But you are not them. You are here because you refuse to live that way. Every thought you nurture becomes a seed. Every belief you hold becomes a root. Every decision you make is a step toward the garden of your destiny. You must cultivate your mind like a master gardener. Weed out doubt, water faith, nourish clarity, and watch as your world transforms into a landscape of abundance. The rich do not simply possess money, they possess a mindset that sees opportunity where others see obstacles, a mindset that understands failure is merely feedback, a mindset that wakes up every day determined to add value, to solve problems, to innovate, to create. Imagine Abraham Lincoln, born into poverty, crippled by loss, leading a divided nation through civil war. What was his wealth? It was his unshakable belief in unity, justice, and the promise of America. His mind was his treasure chest, from which he pulled the courage to rewrite history. This same treasure chest is inside you, waiting to be unlocked. Wealth begins with the relentless command of your thoughts. What are you thinking right now? Are your thoughts aligned with who you want to become, or are they shackles dragging you back? What stories do you tell yourself when the world gets hard? Do those stories empower you or imprison you? The first act of true wealth is ownership. Owning your mind, your emotions, your narrative. When you take this ownership, fear loses its grip. Doubt fades. Procrastination surrenders. But ownership demands responsibility. It demands that you stop waiting for someone else to fix your life, to hand you success on a silver platter. The truth is, no one is coming. The ship will not arrive on the horizon. The only rescue is your own will, your own action. Your mind is a garden. What you plant today determines your harvest tomorrow. Will you sow seeds of confidence, vision, and grit? Or will you let weeds of negativity and fear choke your potential? Napoleon Hill taught us over a century ago that what the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. That wisdom is no less true today. But belief without action is dead. Your mind must become a machine of relentless pursuit. Every day, every hour, every minute matters. You are building your empire in the quiet moments when no one is watching. So, how do you command your mind? How do you make it serve your highest vision rather than sabotage it with self-doubt? Begin with your environment. The books you read, the people you surround yourself with, the media you consume, all these shape the architecture of your mind. Choose influences that elevate, challenge, and inspire. Remove the toxic voices that whisper defeat. Next, train your focus. The human mind is easily distracted, pulled in every direction by endless noise and chaos. But focus is your weapon. It is the lens that brings your vision into sharp clarity. Protect it fiercely. Guard your time. Cultivate rituals that anchor you to your goals. Then program your beliefs. This is not some mystical incantation, but a daily practice of affirmations, visualization, and repetition. Tell yourself the truth of your potential again and again. Visualize your success so vividly that your brain begins to accept it as reality. This rewiring is the foundation of unstoppable belief. But belief alone will not build your legacy. You must act. Decisively, persistently, fearlessly. Action turns thought into reality. It separates the dreamers from the doers. Every great achievement is built on the backbone of action taken in spite of fear. Edison didn't invent the light bulb by waiting for the perfect moment. He experimented thousands of times with a mindset that failure was merely a stepping stone. Ford didn't wait for the market to be ready. He created a market with the Model T. Lincoln didn't wait for consensus. He led with conviction. The question is, will you act? Will you move from contemplation to creation? Will you take that first step, even if it trembles? Will you keep moving when the path is dark? Gratitude will keep you grounded on this journey. When you focus on what you have, not what you lack, your mind shifts from scarcity to abundance. Gratitude opens doors because it reminds you that you are already wealthy in many ways. It ignites a positive momentum that attracts more blessings, more opportunities, more breakthroughs. Adaptability sharpens your edge. The world is not static, and your journey will never be smooth. But those who thrive are not the strongest or smartest. They are the most adaptable. Like water, they flow around obstacles, find new paths, and keep moving forward with grace and grit. Resilience is your shield. When setbacks strike, and they will, resilience is the force that lifts you from the ashes. It is the echo of every champion who refused to quit. It is the voice inside that says, try again, stand up, keep going. And the hunger for learning will fuel your ascent. The greats never stop growing. Carnegie was a voracious reader. Lincoln was self-taught. Musk studies relentlessly. Your commitment to knowledge is a declaration that you refuse to be limited by what you already know. Your mind is a powerhouse. It creates your reality, commands your destiny, and shapes your wealth. Wealth begins inside you, in your beliefs, your vision, your discipline, your actions. You are the architect of your fortune. The seeds of greatness lie dormant within your thoughts. Command your mind, and you command your life. This is the truth about wealth. The battle is inside you. The prize is your destiny. The battlefield of wealth is not fought in boardrooms or bank vaults. It is fought within the corridors of your mind, in the silent wars waged between doubt and determination, between fear and faith. Every choice you make is a skirmish, every thought a soldier either for or against your future. Consider Henry Ford. Before revolutionizing the automobile industry, he faced countless failures, financial ruin, and public ridicule. Yet his mind remained unwavering. His belief was his armor, his vision the compass guiding him through storms. He once said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right." That is the power of the mind. It frames your reality before reality ever arrives. This power is not limited to the titans of history. It belongs to you, here and now. Your mind is your birthright, the most valuable asset you will ever possess, but it requires mastery, daily commitment, and the courage to confront your inner enemies. These enemies are not external circumstances, they are internal voices. The voice that whispers, "You're not good enough." The voice that says, "It's too late." The voice that convinces you to settle, to play small, to stay safe. These voices thrive on your hesitation, your complacency. They want to keep you locked in the prison of your own mind. But you were not born to be a prisoner. You were born to be a conqueror, to rise above limitations and carve your legacy from the bedrock of persistence and belief. To command your mind means to silence those voices. It means to create a new narrative, one where you are the hero, the visionary, the unstoppable force moving toward your destiny, with relentless resolve. This narrative is written with clarity of purpose and forged through the fires of discipline. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. It is the daily grind, the uncomfortable choices, the sacrifices made in silence. It is waking up before dawn while the world sleeps. It is saying no to distractions that steal your time and energy. It is the quiet commitment to progress, step by step, even when motivation fades. No one will hand you discipline on a silver platter. You must build it within, brick by brick, habit by habit. Like a master craftsman shaping raw materials into a masterpiece, you must shape your habits until they become the foundation of your success. Remember the story of Thomas Edison, who famously said, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration." He understood that success is born from relentless effort, repeated failure, and unwavering belief. Every failure was a lesson etched into his mind. Every setback a push forward disguised as defeat. Your failures will come. Your setbacks will challenge your resolve. But wealth is not about never falling. It's about rising every time you fall. Stronger, wiser, more determined. Resilience is your secret weapon. It transforms pain into power, loss into learning, doubt into drive. Your mind is a dynamic force, constantly shaped by your environment, your choices, your actions. To cultivate wealth, you must feed your mind with wisdom. Surround yourself with those who uplift and challenge you, and constantly expand your knowledge. Learning is the engine of growth. Andrew Carnegie, one of the richest men in history, credited much of his success to his insatiable hunger for knowledge. He devoured books, sought mentors, and embraced every opportunity to grow. This commitment to learning created a mind that was adaptable, innovative, and unstoppable. Gratitude is often overlooked in the pursuit of wealth, yet it is the soil from which abundance grows. When you practice gratitude, you shift your mindset from scarcity to plenty. You recognize the value in what you already possess, which opens your heart and mind to receive more. Imagine wealth as a river flowing from the source within you. Gratitude clears the debris, opens the channels, and allows the current of abundance to flow freely. Without gratitude, the river clogs and stagnates. Adaptability keeps you fluid in an ever-changing world. The giants of history survived and thrived, not by rigidly clinging to one path, but by flowing like water, finding new routes, embracing change, and innovating when necessary. Your journey to wealth will demand flexibility. You will face unexpected challenges and shifting landscapes. Your ability to adapt, pivot, and evolve will determine your survival and success. Vision is your lighthouse in the storm. Without it, you drift aimlessly. But with a clear, compelling vision, you navigate through uncertainty with purpose and direction. Your vision must be vivid, detailed, and emotionally charged. It must pull you forward when everything else tries to push you back. Napoleon Hill taught desire is the starting point of all achievement. But desire alone is not enough. It must be fueled by faith, sustained by discipline, and brought to life by action. The truth about wealth is this: it is a holistic journey of mind, heart, and will. It demands that you master your thoughts, own your beliefs, clarify your vision, commit to discipline, act with purpose, embrace gratitude, adapt to change, and build resilience through every challenge. No one else will build your empire for you. No external force will create your wealth. It starts inside you, in the battle for your mind. Command your mind, command your life, and command your destiny. Your mind is the forge where your destiny is shaped. Each thought is a spark that can either ignite a blaze of success or smother the flames of potential. It's a battlefield where clarity cuts through confusion like a sword, carving a path through the fog of doubt. Clarity is the lens that sharpens your vision. Without it, your dreams scatter like dust in the wind. With it, every step forward is purposeful, every decision deliberate. Abraham Lincoln, a man who led a nation through its darkest hours, once said, "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe." Preparation, focus, and clear vision precede every great victory. Too many wander lost, chasing illusions of quick fixes and shortcuts. Wealth is not built on luck or chance. It is forged in the fires of intention and persistent action. It demands you know exactly what you want and why you want it. Your why is the fuel that powers your journey when the road turns steep and the nights grow long. Belief is the invisible force that turns the impossible into the inevitable. It's the whispered promise to yourself that no matter the odds, no matter the voices that say you cannot, you will rise. Walt Disney faced bankruptcy, ridicule, and failure before his empire of dreams took flight. He believed in a world only he could see, and that belief built a kingdom. You must cultivate that same unshakable faith, not in others, but in yourself. The world tests you relentlessly. It is designed to weed out the faint-hearted. But within you lies a well of strength, waiting to be tapped. That strength is born of relentless belief. Action is the heartbeat of transformation. Without it, belief is a ghost, vision a mirage, and discipline a broken promise. The men and women who shape history do not wait for conditions to be perfect. They move forward, stumble, learn, and rise again. Consider Thomas Edison's countless attempts before the light bulb illuminated the world. Each failure was a step closer, each setback a lesson etched into the ledger of progress. Wealth, like light, is a product of persistence, illuminating the darkness where others have given up. Yet action without purpose is like a ship without a rudder, adrift and vulnerable. Purpose is the compass that aligns your efforts with meaning. When your purpose is clear, even the most grueling labor becomes bearable. You endure, because you know your work matters. Purpose fuels resilience, the ability to withstand storms that would shatter the ordinary. When Rockefeller built his empire, he faced fierce competition and public scrutiny. His purpose, however, was a beacon that kept him steadfast. Resilience is the armor forged in the fires of adversity, shielding your spirit and sharpening your resolve. Gratitude transforms the very fabric of your journey. It turns scarcity into abundance, fear into courage, and chaos into order. By appreciating what you have, you create space for more to enter your life. It is a powerful paradox. The more grateful you are, the richer you become. The great Napoleon Hill insisted that gratitude unlocks the door to infinite riches, not just material wealth, but joy, peace, and fulfillment. It is the secret that ties every thread of success into a tapestry of true wealth. Adaptability is the river that carves canyons through mountains. It is the power to bend without breaking, to flow around obstacles, and to embrace change as an ally rather than an enemy. The greatest innovators, Ford, Edison, Carnegie, did not cling rigidly to old ways. They evolved, experimented, and embraced new ideas. Your path to wealth will never be straight. It will twist, turn, and test you. But those who adapt will thrive, while those who resist become relics of a forgotten past. Now imagine the wealth that begins inside you, manifesting not as fleeting luck, but as a deep, unshakable force. It is the wealth of mind, spirit, and action intertwined. It is the legacy you build not just for yourself, but for generations to come. You hold the key. The power to create, to conquer, to command lies in your hands. The war for your future is already underway. The victory is yours to claim. Command your mind, and the world will follow. Every moment you hesitate, you give space for doubt to creep in. But hesitation is the enemy of progress. The mind that commands is the mind that acts decisively, cuts through noise, and marches relentlessly toward its purpose. Henry Ford didn't wait for approval or perfect timing. He acted on belief and clarity, revolutionizing an industry and defining an era. Your thoughts create your reality, but only when paired with disciplined action. Discipline is the unseen architect of success. It builds the framework that holds your dreams upright against the storms of distraction and fatigue. It is the daily commitment to doing what must be done, even when passion wanes and enthusiasm fades. Consider the countless mornings Abraham Lincoln rose to confront a divided nation with courage, even as personal failures and losses weighed heavily on him. Discipline kept him focused on the mission greater than himself. It is the backbone of every legend. And yet, discipline without vision is like a soldier without a mission, marching but lost. Your vision must be vivid, alive with color and emotion. It must pull you forward like a magnetic force, compelling every fiber of your being to move toward it. Vision is the blueprint of your future. Without it, you wander aimlessly. When you combine vision with belief, clarity with discipline, you set a chain reaction in motion. Each step becomes easier, each challenge a chance to prove your commitment. The universe begins to align with your intent, not by magic, but by the undeniable power of relentless focus. Success is not a destination, but a state of mind. It is the ability to see obstacles as opportunities, failures as lessons, and the impossible as the next challenge to conquer. This mindset transforms poverty into wealth, not just in currency, but in confidence, creativity, and control over your own life. Gratitude and resilience are the twin pillars that sustain you when the road darkens. Gratitude reminds you of your progress. Resilience steels you against setbacks. Like a mighty oak weathering storms, your inner strength grows with each trial endured. Remember, wealth is not simply the accumulation of money. It is the richness of character, the abundance of purpose, and the freedom to live on your own terms. Andrew Carnegie once said, "The man who acquires the ability to take full possession of his own mind may take possession of anything else to which he is justly entitled." Take possession of your mind. It is the most valuable asset you have, the foundation upon which all wealth is built. The battle for wealth begins within. Master that battle, and you master your life. Now understand this, your mind is like a garden. What you plant, you will harvest. If you cultivate weeds of fear, doubt, and excuses, those will choke every seed of possibility. But if you nurture seeds of belief, clarity, and relentless determination, you will harvest a bounty of success beyond your wildest imagination. Thomas Edison, the man who lit the world, failed thousands of times before he discovered the filament that would change humanity forever. His secret was not just brilliance, it was unshakable faith in his vision and a refusal to accept defeat. He treated every failure as a stepping stone, an experiment moving him closer to his goal. Ask yourself, are you watering the right seeds in your mind? Are you feeding your spirit with thoughts that uplift, or are you feeding it with poison disguised as reality? The truth is, the world will offer you every excuse not to try. It will bombard you with doubts and distractions. But your mind must be a fortress, impervious to negativity and weak thoughts. Belief is not just wishful thinking. It is the fuel that powers every great achievement. It is the unwavering conviction that you will succeed because you are willing to pay the price, endure the hardships, and keep moving forward when others quit. Napoleon Hill taught that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But belief without clarity is like a ship without a rudder. Clarity gives your belief direction. It defines your destination with crystal precision. Take a moment now. Close your eyes and see the life you want. Feel it as if it's already yours. Hear the sounds, smell the air, sense the emotions coursing through you. This is not fantasy. This is the first act of creation. Your mind does not distinguish between vivid imagination and reality. When you program your mind with clear vision and powerful belief, you begin to manifest that vision in the world. But vision and belief alone won't carry you across the finish line. Action is the engine that drives transformation. Without action, your dreams remain silent, wishes trapped in the dark corners of your mind. Action is the daily proof that you are committed to your destiny. Look at Walt Disney, who faced bankruptcy, ridicule, and countless obstacles, What set him apart was not luck, but relentless action fueled by vision and belief. Every sketch, every meeting, every risk taken was a brick laid in the foundation of an empire that would inspire generations. You have the same power, the same potential. The difference lies in your willingness to act consistently, with discipline and purpose. And when you stumble, as you inevitably will, resilience will be your armor. It is not the absence of failure, but the strength to rise each time you fall that defines the victorious. Life will test you, sometimes mercilessly, but your inner wealth, your mental fortress, will determine whether you crumble or conquer. Resilience is forged in the fires of adversity. It is the silent promise you make to yourself when no one is watching, that you will rise again and again, no matter how deep the fall. Abraham Lincoln, who was rejected multiple times before becoming one of the greatest leaders in history, understood this truth. His failures were chapters in his story, not the end of it. Your mind must be trained to welcome challenges, to embrace setbacks as opportunities for growth. Each struggle sharpens your spirit, refines your purpose, and deepens your gratitude for the journey itself. Gratitude, often overlooked, is the secret catalyst in the alchemy of wealth. It transforms scarcity into abundance, fear into faith, and despair into hope. When you cultivate gratitude, your mind shifts from what's lacking to what's possible. You begin to see resources where others see obstacles, doors where others see walls. Think of Andrew Carnegie, who rose from poverty to become one of the richest men in the world. He credited his success not only to hard work, but to a deep sense of gratitude for every lesson life taught him, every opportunity, even the painful ones. The power of gratitude rewires your brain, opening pathways for creative ideas, new connections, and unexpected breakthroughs. It softens your heart and sharpens your mind, aligning both with the frequency of success. But none of this, the belief, clarity, vision, action, resilience, or gratitude, will thrive without adaptability. The world is in constant flux. The tides of fortune shift without warning. To command your mind is to command flexibility, mental agility that allows you to pivot without losing sight of your goal. Henry Ford revolutionized transportation not just through invention, but through relentless adaptation. He faced resistance, failures, and financial ruin. But each setback taught him how to improve, to innovate, to press forward with renewed wisdom. You too must embrace change as an ally, not an enemy. Your mindset must be fluid, open to learning, willing to unlearn and relearn. This is the hallmark of true mastery, the ability to evolve relentlessly while remaining anchored in your purpose. Learning is your lifeline. It is the wellspring of growth that never runs dry. Every book you read, every mentor you listen to, every failure you analyze feeds the engine of your inner wealth. The mind that refuses to learn becomes stagnant, brittle, and easily broken by the pressures of life. But the mind that thirsts for knowledge, for insight, for improvement, grows stronger every day. Like a mighty river carving through mountains, it shapes the landscape of your reality. You are the architect of your destiny. The choices you make today, the thoughts you entertain, the beliefs you nurture, the actions you take, create the blueprint for your future. The truth about wealth is simple, yet profound. It does not begin in bank accounts or business deals. It begins inside you, in the depths of your mind, in the strength of your belief, in the clarity of your vision, in the courage to act, in the resilience to persist, in the gratitude that fuels abundance, and in the adaptability that keeps you moving forward. The world will try to tell you otherwise. It will tempt you with shortcuts, distract you with noise, discourage you with doubt. But the greatest wealth, the wealth that lasts, is forged in the crucible of your inner world. Command your mind. Command your life. Your destiny is waiting. Now imagine your mind as a fertile field. The seeds you plant, the thoughts, beliefs, and intentions are the only things that will grow. If you sow doubt, fear, and hesitation, your harvest will be limited and poor. But if you cultivate faith, clarity, and relentless determination, you will reap a bounty beyond measure. This is not mere metaphor. The science of neuroplasticity confirms it. Your brain, your mind, is wired to change and grow with the experiences you feed it. Every new thought creates a new neural pathway. Every belief you reinforce becomes a foundation stone in the fortress of your destiny. The masters of wealth and success understood this. Thomas Edison, after thousands of failed experiments, didn't see failure. He saw endless opportunity to refine his approach. His unwavering belief in the possibility of invention rewired his brain for success, allowing him to illuminate the world. You must commit yourself to this same mental discipline. No one else can do it for you. No external force can give you what your mind refuses to accept. Wealth, true, lasting wealth, starts with an unshakable conviction inside your mind that you are worthy, capable, and destined for greatness. Yet belief alone is not enough. Clarity must accompany it. Without clarity, belief becomes blind hope, a fragile, wavering light easily extinguished by the storms of life. Clarity demands that you look deeply at your purpose, your values, your vision for what life can be. It requires honesty, brutal if necessary. What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you unwilling to compromise? What legacy do you want to leave? This clarity will become your compass. When distractions cloud your path or obstacles rise, your purpose will cut through the fog like a beacon, guiding you forward. With clarity, your actions gain precision. With clarity, your discipline becomes a fierce weapon. Discipline is the silent engine of achievement, the invisible force that moves you when motivation fades, when passion cools, when the world demands more than you want to give. Look to the greats. Andrew Carnegie rising from a poor Scottish immigrant to a titan of industry through relentless discipline. Henry Ford perfecting the assembly line through unwavering focus. Walt Disney building an empire from nothing but imagination and tireless work. Discipline is not punishment. It is freedom. The freedom to create, to innovate, to build the life you envision. It is the bridge between your dreams and reality. And then comes action. Without action, belief, clarity, and discipline are wasted energy. Action is the language of the successful. It is the declaration that your thoughts are not just idle musings, but commands to the universe. But action must be purposeful. It must be consistent. It must be bold. The universe rewards those who move with conviction, those who dare to step forward despite fear, despite uncertainty. Edison did not wait for perfect conditions. Lincoln did not wait for unanimous support. They acted because they understood that momentum is the lifeblood of success. You must act now, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. The moment you decide to take control of your mind, your life, is the moment your destiny begins to shift. And as you act, cultivate gratitude. Gratitude is the oxygen for your soul. It fills the cracks of doubt and fear, healing wounds and lighting the way forward. Gratitude connects you to the flow of abundance, aligning you with the invisible forces that bring opportunity and prosperity. This is the truth about wealth. It is a manifestation of your inner world. Shape your mind, master your beliefs, sharpen your clarity, wield your discipline, take bold action, and fuel it all with gratitude. The world does not owe you success, but it rewards those who command their minds with unwavering resolve. The power to create wealth lies within you. It always has. Your journey begins now. The journey you begin today is not for the faint of heart. It demands courage. Courage to confront your own limitations, to shatter old beliefs that no longer serve you, to walk through the fire of discomfort and uncertainty. But within this fire, you will find your true self forged anew, stronger, wiser, and more powerful than ever before. You see, wealth is not merely the accumulation of money. That is the illusion sold to the masses. Real wealth is the richness of the mind, the abundance of spirit, and the legacy of impact you leave on the world. It is the power to shape your own destiny, the freedom to live on your terms, and the capacity to uplift others along your path. Look at Abraham Lincoln, a man who faced repeated failure, heartbreak, and rejection, yet he held an unbreakable faith in his vision for a united nation. He disciplined his mind to focus not on the obstacles, but on the purpose. His resilience created the foundation of a new America. That is the power of an indomitable mind. Your mind is your most valuable asset. Protect it fiercely. Feed it deliberately. Guard it from the noise and distraction that seeks to dilute your focus. In a world designed to steal your attention, your ability to command your mind is your greatest weapon. It begins with the stories you tell yourself. These stories about your worth, your ability, your potential, either chain you to mediocrity or propel you into greatness. Choose the stories that empower you. Rewrite the narratives that limit you. Napoleon Hill called this the mastermind principle. Surround yourself with minds that elevate you, challenge you, and expand your vision. But above all, become your own mastermind, your own greatest ally in this quest for wealth and meaning. And as you grow, understand that failure is not the enemy. It is the mentor disguised in rough clothing. Every setback is a lesson, every disappointment a stepping stone. The difference between the successful and the unsuccessful lies in the willingness to learn, adapt, and persevere. Look at Thomas Edison's relentless experiments. Each failure was a necessary iteration on the path to the light bulb. His mind was tuned to see opportunity where others saw defeat. That is the mindset you must cultivate. Adaptability is the silent force behind every great achievement. The world changes, markets shift, technologies evolve, and so must you. Wealth is not a static prize, but a dynamic process. To command your life is to remain flexible, to innovate, and to keep moving forward, even when the path is uncertain. Gratitude, discipline, clarity, belief, action. These are not separate steps, but intertwined threads in the fabric of your transformation. They build on each other, creating a momentum that can move mountains. Your mind is the soil. Your thoughts are the seeds. Your beliefs are the water and sunlight. Nurture them daily with intention and purpose, and you will harvest a life of abundance beyond your wildest dreams. Remember, the truth about wealth is simple but profound. It starts inside you, not in the bank, not in the stock market, not in the hands of others. It starts with commanding your mind. So now take a deep breath. Feel the power that lies within, the power to choose, to act, to create, the power to become the master of your destiny. This is your moment. The battlefield is your mind. The prize is your life. Win the inner battle, and the outer war will bow before you. Because when you command your mind, you command your life, and nothing can stand in your way.